Real Madrid, 0 trophies? Again? Yeah, this could be 2 straight trophyless seasons. So what went wrong? Bad signings? Wrong tactics? Or is this squad completely unbalanced? Because today, we're deciding who stays, who gets sold, and who's out. No bias, no excuses. Let's go. And if you're a Madrid fan, you already know this is unacceptable. For the first time since 2009 and 10, this could be 2 straight trophyless seasons. Who's responsible? Florentino Perez for pulling the plug on Xabi Alonso way too early? Because let's be honest, he was actually building something. Then Alvaro Arbeloa steps in, tries to steady the ship, but the results? A complete disaster. Copa del Rey, out to a second division side, Albacete. La Liga, gone. Champions League, beaten by Bayern. Super Cup, lost to Barcelona. So no, this isn't just one guy's fault. This is deeper. This is structural. Some blame Perez. Others say, look, signings were made. Mastantuono, Dean Huijsen, Alvaro Carreras. There is talent here. But what about the players? Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, that chemistry? It's just not there. And it's hurting the entire team. Right now, Arbeloa is basically the shield. When things go wrong, he takes the hit. But this video, this is not about blame. So today, we're breaking down the full squad. Smart decisions, realistic moves. Let's get into it. Right away with the goalkeeper position. And honestly, this is one area that doesn't really give Real Madrid much headache, because they've got one of the best goalkeepers in world football, Thibaut Courtois. Since joining in 2018, Courtois has been absolutely world-class. And if you watch that Bayern match, you could literally feel his absence. Now yes, there have been some concerns about Lunin, but let's be real. Are you seriously thinking about selling Courtois? Even at 34 this May, he is still performing at the highest level. He's one of the most consistent players in this entire Real Madrid squad. There are games where Courtois literally saves Madrid on his own. So no, there is no scenario where Courtois is getting sold or loaned out. If you think that, maybe this video isn't for you. Courtois stays, 100%. Now coming to Andre Lunin, what do you do here? Do you give chances to younger keepers? Or keep him as a long-term backup? We all remember that period when Courtois was injured and Lunin stepped up. He actually performed really well and even helped Madrid through a strong campaign. But this season, things haven't been the same. He hasn't had many chances, and when he did play, the performances weren't at that level. He even made mistakes in key matches. Still, having a 27-year-old backup keeper? That's not a problem at all. He's reliable, and he can step in when needed. Now, the situation is interesting. Lunin's camp believes he's good enough to be a starter elsewhere. So if he pushes for regular minutes and gets convinced to leave, things could change. But as of now, both Real Madrid and Lunin seem open to staying together. Now let's talk about the third-choice keeper, Fran Gonzalez. He's been on the bench for big games like the Bayern clash, but hasn't really gotten minutes. However, there's another name creating serious buzz, Javier Navarro. This guy has been shining in the UEFA Youth League. Against PSG in the semifinal, he made 6 saves, including a point-blank stop that saved the game. And in the penalty shootout, 3 saves. That's why people are talking about him. Right now, Navarro is still below Fran Gonzalez in the pecking order, but that might change soon. Because honestly, Fran Gonzalez could be loaned out, or even sold. And I'd actually like to see Javier Navarro promoted, at least as the third-choice keeper next season. He may not get minutes immediately, but keeping him in the system makes total sense. And that's the goalkeeper situation at Real Madrid. Now let's move on to the defenders. And this is where things get a little messy. Starting with Antonio Rudiger. Despite injury concerns, the club still trusts him. New contract, fans are happy, Rudiger stays. Eder Militao? Long-term contract? No doubts. He stays. Dean Huijsen, part of the future, locked in. So, that's 3 defenders, confirmed. Rudiger, Militao, Huijsen. Now, David Alaba. You're not selling him. He's leaving anyway. Contract situation. So, no real decision needed there. Now comes the tricky one. Asensio. He's been heavily criticized this season, not playing consistently, reports of internal issues, and honestly, he hasn't convinced the staff. So what do? Sell? Loan? Keep? Here's the reality. Madrid don't have enough depth, injuries hit, and suddenly you're exposed. So for now, I'd keep Asensio. Not because he's perfect, but because you need experienced depth. Now let's talk about the young defenders. Juan Martinez? Highly rated, just recovered from injury, but first team minutes? Unlikely. Best option? Loan, or sell with a buyback clause. That's the Real Madrid model, and it works. Diego Aguado, still very young. Keep him, or loan if a good offer comes. Victor Valdepeñas, too much competition in his position. Sell, or loan. Makes sense. Lamine Fati, no first team role yet. Keep him in the reserves. Let him develop. Now here's the interesting one. Jacobo Ramon, out on loan and performing really well. Regular minutes, strong presence, intelligent defender. And honestly, he's been better than Asensio. So here's a smart move. Sell Asensio, bring Ramon back as backup. You get a better performing player for a low buyback price. That's smart business. But remember, Real Madrid can't rely only on young players. They need experienced defenders. Who that will be, we'll talk about that later. Now let's talk about the fullbacks. Starting with the left side, Fran Garcia, Ferland Mendy, Alvaro Carreras. 3 players for 1 position. That's too much. Carreras, you paid big money for him. He stays, no debate. Mendy, injuries have been a problem, but whenever he plays, he delivers. Fans trust him. He stays too, which leaves Fran Garcia. And honestly, he should be sold. Not enough game time, not first choice, and he needs minutes at this stage of his career. Now the right back situation. This is where things get tricky. Trent, fit, performing well. He's your starter. Carvajal, club legend, contract ending, and likely leaving. Ideally, you keep him for 1 more year. Reduced role, lower salary, because leadership matters. But if he leaves, you've got a big problem. No proper backup. We've already seen midfielders covering at right back. That's not sustainable. So it's simple. If Carvajal leaves, Madrid must sign a backup right back. But knowing Madrid, they might not even do that. And that's your fullback situation, in short. Now let's talk about the midfield. Fede Valverde? Untouchable. Anyone saying sell Fede? Just stop. Aurelien Tchouameni, one of the most consistent performers this season. He stays. Jude Bellingham? No discussion. He stays. Arda Güler, creative, intelligent, game changer. Selling him would be a mistake. He stays. Now, the tricky part. Camavinga. Talented? Yes. Versatile? Yes. But that's the issue. No fixed role. 5 years and still no defined position. For me, sell. You can get good money and bring in a proper specialist midfielder. Because modern football isn't about versatility anymore. It's about specialization. Young players? Juan Martinez, loan. Palacios, loan. Mario Martin, out. Now here's the big one. Nico Paz. Massive talent. Creative. Confident. Already performing at a high level. If you can bring him back for cheap, you do it. Because this midfield lacks creativity. Now, the forwards. Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, untouchable. They're your franchise players. They stay, no discussion. Rodrigo, still important. He stays. Endrick, injured. Long-term project. He stays. Now, Mastantuono. Big talent, big money signing, but hasn't delivered yet. And that's fine. He's only 18. So what do? Loan him out. Let him gain confidence, get minutes, develop. Brahim Diaz, underrated, hardworking, creative, aggressive. He stays. Now, Gonzalo Garcia, good player, but sell. Because Endrick is your long-term striker. You've already invested in him. Keeping both limits their growth, so one has to go. Now the wild card, Nico Paz. Elite talent, creative, confident, already proving himself. If you can bring him back cheap, you do it. Because this attack needs creativity. Young players? Giannis, keep, develop. Manuel Angel, sell or loan. Victor Munoz? Good player, but not necessary. You already have enough options. So attack. And that's your attack, simplified. And yeah, this is where things get interesting. All right, that's the full squad breakdown. Now I want to hear from you. Which decisions do you agree with? And where do you completely disagree? Did I miss any player? Or is there someone you would sell that I didn't mention? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate this properly. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more football content like this. We just hit another milestone. Thank you for the support. Seriously. Until then, take care and peace out.